guys, and welcome back to another Alt Heart video. So today I thought it would be fun to take you guys along on a little antique thrifting shopping spree. So my husband and I love to visit different antique malls or flea markets, just little mom and pop shops. And I know that there are quite a few out in San Diego, some of which I have not had a chance to visit. So since we were going to be down there, I figured, hey, why not take a look, see if we find something. So I am shopping for a few different areas in my home specifically. And that would be my first recommendation when you are going thrifting, is to make sure that you know what space in your home you are shopping for. Because if you go in with like your entire house in mind, then it's going to be pretty overwhelming to try and pick and choose what you're looking for and what's going to suit and whatnot. So my home is, I would say it's more industrial modern with a few traditional elements thrown in. And I want to bring in a lot more like moody, darker, rich colors. So when I say that, I want you guys to kind of picture like coffee house vibes, or like, like those old vintage 1930s, like smoke shops. They're very rich in color, a lot of like amber, black, creams, browns, all of those really nice, rich, neutral colors. So that's really what I want to bring into my home. So I did add some new industrial shelving, and if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and link it down below. But I want to pick out a few items for those shelves. I also replaced our bookshelves that were in the living room. So I'll go ahead and show you like a before and after so that you can kind of see why I went for those bookshelves and how I am slowly kind of decorating them. So I am going to be shopping a few antique items specifically for the bookshelves, the industrial shelves that I made, and also for this gallery wall that I have in the front entrance of my living room. So as soon as you walk in, and I'll go ahead and record it so that you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But I have like a gallery of picture frames, and right now they're kind of, I want to say some of them are gold, some of them are brass, some of them are like dark wood, but I kind of want to have like a collection of all similar colors, specifically gold ones. So I am on the hunt for those. So before I keep rambling on, as you can see, I'm like super excited to get started. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to take you along. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to type them down below. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. So this is the first antique center or antique mall that we visited, and it was by far the largest one that we found in San Diego. Now, this is the second time that we visited this consignment center, and one of the things that I really appreciated about this store is that a lot of the vendors do dress up their areas according to their specific style. So if you're searching for more farmhouse things, then there are vendors that specialize in just farmhouse decor. And a lot of other vendors will line everything up according to color. So if you're looking for more pops of yellow or pops of blue, then I like that a lot of vendors will just classify all of their things according to a specific color. And here are those golden frames that I was telling you I was in search of. So again, this is like the perfect example of a vendor that have set up their booth more of a boho style. You could see a lot of the woven baskets, a lot of the tapestries, a lot of the brown colors. So if you are looking for a particular style, this is probably one of the best consignment centers to go to, just because everything is kind of classified separately this way. So that would be my second tip when going to an antique mall or a flea market, is to know what kind of style you're shopping for, and that way you can really kind of hone in to the pieces that would really work more for your space. Now I have some of these antique inspired bulbs in my house already, but nothing this size. So as soon as I saw this basket filled with these antique large bulbs, I just knew that I was gonna have to bring at least one of them home with me. So I was able to find a couple of books to fill these bookshelves because these shelves are really tall. So I needed quite a few books and still need quite a few books to fill it, but I was very happy to find at least a few books there. And now we are headed over to the second antique store. Each antique store is, very different and unique in its own way. But for the most part, they do like to place things together. So if you are looking for dishes, most of the time they'll have all their dishes together. If you're looking for, unique pottery, then they do have a lot of their pottery together. So that at least makes it a little bit easier for you to find what you're looking for. Sometimes you're just gonna see an array of things, so it's gonna be a little bit more challenging, but going in with your particular style in mind, and if you're shopping for, like I said, a particular area in your home, then it does make it easier for you to find what you're looking for. And there are other antique stores that just specialize in furniture. So you do kind of want to do your homework before you head out to make sure that you are going to be finding the things that you're looking for. But this one was really great as far as their furniture selection. And as you can see here, I basically honed in on this antique jewelry case. Unfortunately, it was not for sale, but I absolutely fell in love with it when I saw it. So that was the last store that we went to, and now we are back at home. So the first thing I wanted to show you were these books that I was able to find at the very first consignment mall. So these are vintage books. I'm not sure of the year, but I fell in love with the color, the design, and it's, I believe they're like encyclopedias, but they just have so much really interesting information in them. So I know it was something that we were going to enjoy and pull out and read. And my son was actually already kind of going through them. So I really like that it added those, deep, rich tones that I was looking for, and they really do pop on this new bookshelf. So the second thing we were able to find, once again at the very first consignment mall, was this antique pencil sharpener. And it actually does still work. We tried it out a couple of times with some of my son's pencils, so he was super excited to try it out. But it's actually pretty heavy, but it works really well. And I thought it would be nice to just kind of display it next to the books as opposed to having just like a regular some like book holder to hold up those books. I thought it would look nice there. Now this camera we were very happy to find, especially at the price point. I think we only paid like $30 for it, but we just fell in love with the design and the look, and I decided to display it on top of these white books just because I felt like it made the camera stand out a lot more, especially, giving it that little bit of height. And because the books are white, it also made it stand out a lot more because the camera is black. So we were very happy to have found it, and it really is like a really special piece. It's probably one of my favorite things that we were able to find. So I know you saw me kind of peeking at this antique pipe set, and this one we actually found at a small antique store on the very last day that we were there. So I was looking for something that was amber colored, so I was very happy to find it. And actually it's in really good condition, and this one came with this little packing tool. So you use it to pack the tobacco that would be placed inside of the pipes. So again, it came in really, really good condition, and I saw a couple of these at the first consignment store, but they were really, really expensive. So we were happy to find this at a definitely more affordable price, and it came with 3 different pipes, so that was really, really neat. So I decided to place it on top of this book just to give it, again, a little bit more height. That way it's more of like a display piece. And I also like the contrast of the black with the amber, so it made it really stand out a little bit more. So these are the new bookshelves that we just had put in. And as you can see, I mean, these boys are big. And I love that it has that, you know, industrial metal piping around the borders, and you could actually hang a ladder at the very top. So that's something that we're considering, but you know, we don't need that right now. But I mean, these are just real statement pieces, and anything that you display here is going to look really, really nice. So I was so happy to have found them. So here we are at the second shelf. Now this piece, the antique stamp, we were able to find again at the very first consignment store. So I was very happy to have found it, and it is a really heavy piece. For the most part, it's in really good condition. It is a little bit rusted, so I did have a little bit of difficulty when I was lowering down the lever and raising it back up. But for the most part, a lot of that detail is what makes the piece, you know, really special. So again, I decided to display it, you know, on the shelf on top of some books to add, you know, that height and that contrast between the white and the black. And it was just a piece that we were very happy to have found. Now I know you guys saw me eyeing that basket filled with antique large bulbs, so I did have to bring at least one of them home with me. And this was by far the biggest one that I was able to find. Now it obviously doesn't work anymore, but the detail inside I just thought was just so neat. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I brought it home with me so that I could display it on my shelves. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it this way. Right now, I just kind of attach some Velcro just to make sure that it doesn't roll off and, you know, break. But for now, I think it looks great there. And this other piece we found at the very last antique store that we went to, and it's just this antique bell. It's made out of brass, so it is really heavy, and it's got that wooden base. But I just really liked the detail of it. I liked the color, the contrast, and you know, again, I thought it was something that would look nice on top of those shelves. So these were the old shelves that I had in my living room. And I mean, they're still very beautiful shelves, but they weren't very big, they weren't very wide, and I felt like they kind of got lost on that big wall. And that's just because it's such a massive space. So I feel like the other ones just make more of an impact. So I kind of just have these in the hallway right now because I haven't had a chance to really figure out how I want my son's room to look, and I still have to order some furniture. But I just kind of want to show you what these look like as opposed to those over there. So as you can see, all of the items that we were able to find, they just really pop on that background. So really happy with some of those pieces that I was able to find. Now we did replace the TV entertainment system just because the other one that I've had it since college, and it was like this like bright kind of champagne color, and it just did not match whatsoever. So I was able to find this one at Home Goods, and I really like the hardware because it did match with the bookshelves. I don't know if I'm going to keep the color the same. I might go ahead and just paint it black so that it matches the shelves more, but I haven't fully decided yet. But at least, you know, I like the height of it. I like that there was a lot of storage. I like that it had the barn doors and the metal framing. And I think for the most part, it turned out really, really nice there. Now on top of the TV, I used to have this other frame that said home, but it doesn't match there anymore, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out what to add there next. Now this piece I found again at the very last antique store on the very last day that we were there. And the lady that works there told me that this is one of the ones that she had there that was in really good condition, because a lot of people try to refurbish it and they'll paint it and they'll strip it, and then it loses a lot of that character. So these were actually used to hold like cotton spool, like thread. And as you can see, the writing is still very, very legible, and the shelves are very, very clean. So I was so happy to have found it. This is, you know, next to the camera, this is probably my second favorite piece. And I kept walking back down that aisle, and my husband was like, "You're gonna get it, aren't you?" And I'm like, yeah, probably. And as you can see, there's like writing here, and I was having a hard time figuring out what it was. So if you guys can figure it out, make sure to comment it down below. But I'm kind of curious to see what it says. But again, very, very happy with this piece. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna do with it, but I've got a couple of ideas, and it'll probably go on my little coffee bar. But again, so thrilled to have found it. And I think it just will complement that coffee bar area so, so well. So when you walk into my house, usually here, when I don't have this guy just, you know, hanging around telling fortunes, I have the blue chair that's over there is usually on this corner. And I do have this table here with the book, and then I have a large portrait or painting here. And, you know, I obviously don't have these. These are all the Halloween inspired ones. But I wanted to incorporate more gold colored pictures here, more antique ones. So that's kind of what I was on a hunt on when I was going to the stores. So I was able to kind of choose what I wanted to change, look at the look at pictures of looks that I was inspired by, and then that way I was able to go to the antique store and hunt down those specific things. So that's really what you want to do when you are searching for things for your home. So I was able to come across 3 different frames, and all of these are solid wood, and they are just beautiful. As you can see, all of the detail here on the corners and on the sides, all of this little like dot piping on the corners and on the edgings. I mean, I thought they were so pretty. This is the smallest one I was able to find. I am hoping to find a couple more around this size. But again, just look at all of the detail. I was so lucky to find these. So very excited to be able to put those there. I am not sure if I'm going to be keeping the picture, although I do actually like this picture, and I feel like the warm tone colors would go, but I'm not sure. I would kind of like to personalize it by adding some of my family's pictures on there. And this was the last frame I found, and this one is quite large. I definitely say it's like maybe like 16 by 20. Yeah, I would say it's about 16 by 20, maybe a little bit bigger. But look at all of this detail here. And I really love how there's like a contrast so that you're able to really see the detail on all of the corners. And this is just carved out so pretty. So this I'll have to remove from there, but I mean, it's such a beautiful frame. Yeah, I think the only piece that's got something wrong with it is just this little peach here, but again, I feel like it adds to the overall look. And if I display it like this, then you can't really tell. And I could always just patch that up, so you're not gonna be able to tell. But look at how beautiful that is. Very, very excited. So I picked up this wooden bowl, and I really, really like the color and the shape, because it's not very, it's not like a regular, like, you know, deep bowl. It's just kind of narrow, but I really like the texture and the color, and I really just kind of wanted to use it to display something on top. And right here, I was able to find an antique pulley, and I've been searching for one for quite some time, but I could never really find one like at all, basically. But this one still seems to be in really good condition. I mean, it is fairly rusted, but the spindles do still spin, so it does still work. And I was I don't know how I'm going to use it quite yet. It would be kind of neat to use it for its intended, you know, purpose, but I do also kind of like just displaying it in a bowl if I decide to do something like that over a book. Not sure yet. So over here, I saw these jars at the first antique store that I went to, and I just fell in love with the color and the detail, as you can see here. Just all of that beautiful texture, and it's like that throughout the entire glass jar. I'm probably going to put these on the industrial shelves just because I feel like they'll really pop there. And you know, they're jars, so I'll be able to store, you know, either candy or, you know, whatever. And then I found this one, and I was just like, oh my gosh, the textures in both of these are so neat, and I'm just in love with anything that's like amber colored. So even these two next to each other, like they complement each other very well. So this one is for a candle. So you're able to open it this way, and you're able to place your candle inside. And as you can see at the top, there is an opening so that, you know, the candle can breathe and it won't be extinguished, basically. But it's just such a beautiful and unique little candle holder. I hadn't seen anything like this. Look at how pretty the light just kind of reflects off of it. So that's going to be so nice on those shelves. So again, moody colors, glass, just something that I could put on those shelves is exactly what I was searching for. So back here, I know you see it because it's pretty big, is this copper kettle. And I don't know what it is, but as you'll see, or as you have seen, I was just gravitating towards anything that looked like a kettle. I don't know what it is, but I just absolutely love them. And when I saw this, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to know how much it is, and it needs to come home with me. So look at the shape of this spout. I just love the detail. Now, obviously it's in pretty, you know, it's been through some things. You could just tell that, you know, it's definitely got some stories, and that's definitely what appealed to me. The color, the texture, the, you know, the indentations, even the rust. It looks like it's got this, I think this is marble. I'm not sure actually, but just the handle, the shape, everything about it was just so appealing to me. So I want to be able to, I kind of have like a little bit of a collection of little kettles, of antique kettles. So I am going to be displaying this one on my shelf, but since I am going to be transforming my kitchen and I'm going to be adding a lot more copper elements, I felt like this would be perfect. So over here, I was so happy when I was able to find these. These are just two light fixtures, and they're made of solid iron. And if I wanted to, I could hardwire them. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. I'm kind of thinking about it, but I am also able to just connect it and they turn on. So I was able to find 2 of these. So it was like my super lucky day. And I want to be able to put these next to my children's bed as like a little night light, or like when they're reading books in bed. So I just thought they were so neat and they'd be so perfect for their room. So I am going to be transforming both of their rooms very, very soon. So stay tuned for that one. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when that video posts, because I'm so excited to start on that. So 2 of these, so happy. So that was it, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this little thrift and antique haul. I am so excited to be able to place these up and find a home for them so soon. So please make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified of when I post that video. Like I said, we are going to be making a lot of transformations in this house. So I just can't wait to get started. And I think the first thing that is going to be coming out is how we kind of update this kitchen a little bit. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again very, very soon.